Hello friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. In previous videos this week, I showed you how to take our handwritten recipes and turn them into sublimation recipes, but also taking these same recipe and I turned them into a laser engraved file. Today, which is sublimation, laser engraved, we're missing one, how to turn our handwritten anything into Cricut cuttable files. All the steps for this is going to be the same as what I would do with a recipe. So all you need for this project is a handwritten something. I just have a card that I had found from last year, and I'm going to be using this right here. This is my husband's grandma's writing, and I'm going to turn this into an HTV cuttable file, and I'm going to put it on a pillowcase, a decorative pillowcase that I can just put on one of my side chairs in my living room. Super excited about this. Holiday is coming up, and these handwritten gifts are huge for the holiday gift giving season. Okay, so all you need for this project is something handwritten. So go into your memory box and find that one handwritten anything that you want to turn into a Cricut cuttable file. Come back to me and let's get to crafting. Okay, the very first thing you want to do is grab your phone, and we are going to download a free app. It is called Adobe Capture. So what you want to do is just download it and then open it. Then you want to take your handwritten recipe or a card or anything that you have. We're going to lay this nice and flat. You want to make sure that you have a well-lit room for this. Better the lighting and the better of the quality of handwriting will give you a better scan. Then what you want to do is just press this camera button. And do you see how now on my phone, it's picking up all like my hands, the lines on my desk, and it's even turned this blue writing into black, which is exactly what I want. So I'm only going to focus in on this section right here because this is the handwriting that I'm most focused on. So I'm just going to zoom in on my phone. Now you can take this adjuster bar that's right here and we can darken it or lighten it. But I don't want it too light because it will be really hard to read and then you won't have a really good cut file. So I want to keep it towards the middle all the way to the right. You don't want to go too far to the right, but just dark enough to where it's nice and picked up. Okay, when you have adjusted the bar and you've gotten the handwriting looking like you want, so I'm only focused on this right here, I'm gonna make sure and hold really still and press the camera button. Okay, and this is what the picture looks like. Now we have a whole lot that we don't want, so you can come back over here into crop. We can crop everything out that we don't need. Then what you could do is if you go into refine, if there are little dots, like if I zoom in, there's like a couple dots right here, I can go into this eraser tool and I'm just gonna erase what I don't want. Okay, I like the look of that. When you are done, all you want to do is just press done and then press save. Okay, then you want to save this. Okay, the next thing you want to do is go into my library and these three dots right here, click that, and I am going to save this to my camera roll. Then you want to open up your camera roll, and now I just want to airdrop this to my computer. I do have to tell you, that is the hardest part of the entire project, is just getting the handwriting looking good. Then now that we have it on our computer, I'm gonna go to new project. I'm gonna go into upload and upload image. Then I'm gonna find that picture that I had sent over and I'm gonna drop it into Cricut Design Space. I'm gonna go into complex, then continue. Then the quickest and easiest way would be to remove the background. I sometimes don't like the way this turns out. Let's just click that and see what ends up looking like. And we'll zoom in. Let's go over here to preview cut image and see how it's like super jagged in some areas. So I am going to go back and undo because again, I don't really love using that. So the reason why I don't like this automatic, I use it sometimes. And I do have to tell you that if you have a recipe that's really long like this, it might be easiest for you just to do that automatic because it's going to get every single nook and cranny. The reason why I don't is that when we went over and we did the automatic background, it kind of made the letters look a little fuzzy. And because I don't have a lot of holes, this isn't a very big handwriting thing, I'm not really concerned about having to sit here and click all the holes. I'm gonna be able to get like a better cut file doing it the way that I'm doing it. So that is an option to do the automatic, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to select, I'm gonna go to more options, and I'm gonna bump this up to 50. And then I'm gonna press that's white. Okay, when we go back and let's do that hide cut image, do you see how now these lines right here are a lot smoother? That's A, going to give you a better cut file, but B, it's also gonna make things look a lot nicer when you're done. So the hard edges and like the wiggly marks, that would just be a pain to cut, but then it just kind of looks funny in the end. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to get rid of that preview, and now everything that is white, so like the inside portion of this L is still filled in, so I'm gonna click that. What you wanna see is the checkered mark. I'm not gonna worry about this little hole right here because for how big I'm gonna cut it, it's gonna be so small. So I'm gonna go right here, right here. I'm not gonna worry about that one, but I do want this one. I feel like if I don't include that hole for the E, it's gonna make the love look weird. We're gonna go into the U and just click everything that is white. See, this is why doing the automatic background when you have a really long recipe would help, because you don't have to sit here and go through every single letter and click the inside portions. If you don't do this, what will happen is like this right here is supposed to have a cutout and it will be filled in so you won't have a cutout. So if you wanted to include them. If you don't want to bother, then don't bother. This is personal preference. It's your project. Okay, going back over into here, I did see like here in the bless, you see how it got picked, this like small little thing got picked up. I don't think I'm gonna wanna cut that because it's gonna be teeny tiny anyways. So I'm gonna go over here into erase, and I'm gonna make my little eraser tip really small. See how it's like teeny tiny? So I'm just going to erase that small little piece right there. Okay, going back through, I think everything else looked really good. Okay, let's zoom out. Okay, let's press that preview cut image again. So everything in this preview cut image is exactly what your Cricut cuttable file is going to look like. So it says, love you bunches, God bless Grams. And I think that looks really good. It looks very accurate to what my original handwriting looked like. Okay, so when you're satisfied with your cut file, then all you want to do is apply and continue. Now, I don't need this to be a print then cut image. I want to cut this out on HTV. So I'm going to go into cut image and I'm going to rename this. Now that we have the rename, you just want to press upload. You want to find your upload and press add to canvas. For my project, I'm going to be using a decorative pillowcase. This pillowcase is actually a sublimation pillowcase. It's a leatherette, but I'm going to use HTV. So if you wanted to, I guess you could do a sublimation project since these are sublimatable. Is that even a word? But I'm just going to be doing HTV. So here it is right here. Grab your blank, whatever it is that you're going to be using. You want to measure it out. So my blank is 16 inches wide. So I don't want my handwriting to be anything larger than 16 inches. So I'm going to come over here into the width. And I think let's do, well, you know what? I only have a 12-inch Cricut, so I'm going to do 11.5 inches and press return. Okay, then all you want to do is come over here to make it. Now, we are working with HTV, so anytime you're working with HTV, you always want to come over here to mirror. Now, if you are using vinyl, like the sticky vinyl, the sticky stuff that you would just put on a wall, you didn't have to mirror this. You only have to mirror it with HTV. Okay, so make sure that you have your Cricut, and we want to turn the Cricut on. We're going to open it up. With my pillowcase, I've chosen like a red color HTV. I just think that that's going to look and match really good. So I have my mat. I'm just going to put on my piece of HTV. I'm going to load this into my machine. Then what I'm going to do is go back to the computer, press continue. Okay, I'm going to turn my dial for my machine to iron on plus, And then I'm going to press the fast cut mode because I just love cutting fast. I do not like when the Cricuts take forever to cut. Then I just want to press that blinking C button. Okay, for this project, I'm just going to use my little mini handheld off-brand, not Cricut, mini easy press. So while my Cricut cuts, I'm just going to heat this up. I'm going to do it to the highest setting. If you have a larger heat press, you can go ahead and do that too. Just to make it easy on myself, I am just going to use that hand one. And then now this is done cutting, so we want to eject. Close this up, back this out. Okay, then all you want to do, very first thing is I like to cut away any excess so I can save my scraps. There we go, so I'm going to save that. You want to take a weeding pen. I absolutely love these things. I get them from Tech Wrap. They are amazing. Do not sleep on these. If you have a weeding hook, get rid of it and grab one of these pens. Don't be like me. I was like not a believer of pens for many years until Tech Wrap sent me my first one. And ever since then, I've just been hooked on these pens. Here is the largest piece, weeded out. Then I want to go in and I want to weed out all the rest of the small stuff that's on the inside. Okay, so there is my weeded out decal. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Went ahead and opened up the bottom of my pillowcase just so I know that I'm not going to put this on upside down. And you want to put this onto your pillowcase. Do I want to... Let's do completely center. Okay, so this looks about center to me. What I am going to do is put a silicone mat. If you don't have silicone, piece of parchment paper will work. And all you want to do is take your heat press, whatever it is that you're using, and you just want to iron on your decal. Now, I am just going to do a quick zap through the entire thing, activating the glue on the heat press. Then, what I want to do is I just want to pull up nice and easy. If you have HTV that is wanting to come up that isn't fully stuck on there, just put this back down and reactivate the glue. The stuff that I'm using really does not need a whole lot of time for the glue to be activated. Okay, when I have that carrier sheet taken off, I'm going to flip this back over and I'm going to go back through, applying a little bit more pressure through the entire decal, just making sure that the decal is nice and stuck on there and it's not going to lift over time. And there you have it. Look at this finished product right here. So stinking cute. This is a perfect Christmas gift. Look at that. I love it. Now all you need is a little pillow form to place on the inside of this, and then you can just put it on your couch or anywhere else that you want to keep it. All right, y'all. I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I will see you later.